Started. Well, welcome everybody. I'm Mark Craffeld, your president and CEO with the Greater High Desert Chamber of Commerce. And thank you all for being here this morning. It is my pleasure to introduce today's MC. Please welcome the owner of Saddle Rock Reverse Mortgage. We have Shannon. Shannon, good morning, Shannon.
Good morning, Mark. It is good to see you again. You know, I just have to let you guys know, I'm sure you guys are in as many meetings as I am with Mark, and you know, you get to see him a lot on these Zooms. Well, watch his face sometimes, because my husband will walk by my office and he'll say, Mark on a screen. And so then he'll walk by a few hours later and there'll be Mark on a screen again. So Rory has started texting Mark during all of these meetings and heckling him. So watch Mark's face, because I think there's probably a bunch of us that do that. And if he starts to have some little like kind of laugh out loud moments, you know that probably my husband is doing something behind the scenes there. So
thanks a lot, Shannon.
So anyway, but I'm pleased to be your MC today. And so we'd like to go ahead and get started. I'd like to ask Pastor Dane Davis to go ahead and unmute with Impact Christian Church and lead us in our invocation. Good morning, Pastor Davis.
Thank you, Shannon. Let's bow our heads. Please join me in a word of prayer. Heavenly Father, we thank you for this brand new morning you've given us, Lord. The 4th was with us yesterday, and we trust that Cinco de Mayo will be a great day as well. We thank you, Lord, for this new day. As a friend of mine used to remind me, it's not our alarm clocks that wake us up in the morning. We wouldn't hear that alarm clock if you didn't wake us up. So we thank you, Lord, for the breath in our lungs. We thank you for the beat in our hearts. We all have friends and family who have struggled over this past year with health issues, be it with COVID or other ailments, Lord. But we do thank you this morning for the health you've given us. We thank you for the food we get to eat when we're hungry, the water to drink when we're thirsty. And we thank you for this partnership we have with other business and community leaders in the Victor Valley, in this greater high desert. And we just thank you for the collaborative efforts that we have together to make an impact in our community. We pray that these impacts, Lord, bring honor and glory to you, that they bring a smile to your face. And we do pray that in all things, Lord, we would honor your name. So be with us as we meet today, be with each speaker, be with each presenter. All of these things we put in your hands, and it's in Jesus' name that I pray. Amen.
All right. Thank you, Pastor Davis. Okay, if you were able, would like to please stand with me for the pledge. Hands over your hearts. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Please be seated. All right, I'd like to go ahead and introduce our bell ringer today, which is the Chamber's Events and Graphics Coordinator, Jenny Flores, and at some point, I think baby Joy's going to be joining us also. So sorry, Jenny, after she joins us, we won't be looking at you any longer. We'll be looking at the baby.
Thank you, Shannon. Yes, I have a rattle with me. So don't go long for those of you who have sound offs, or you'll be rattled off.
Oh,
I would have the baby with me, but just prior to the start of the meeting, we had a diaper explosion. So my husband is graciously changing her, and hopefully she can make an appearance later.
Yeah, husbands love that when that happens. So I think we've all been there. All right, so we would like to go ahead and we'd like to introduce our presenting sponsor. We'd like to thank the Choice Medical Group for being our presenting sponsor today for this event. And I would like to now, introduce their marketing manager, Liz McGiffin. Good morning, Liz. You have 5 minutes. Hope you have to unmute.
So the rattle's going to cut me off, right?
Yeah, the rattle will get you.
Oh, okay. So thank you for having me. I'm really, really happy to be a part of Choice and being part of this chamber. I'm just going to cover a few things that we have going on and invite you to an upcoming event and hopefully a partnership. Next. So the marketing department is located in the Senior Resource Center over on Highway 18, and we welcome seniors to come in there if they have questions or concerns about their Medi-Cal or Medicare, or even about Choice. So we have an open door and now a designated helpline for seniors to contact us in case they had any questions regarding organizations or nonprofits or anything that's available to seniors in our area, in our community. Next. I'm annoying myself. Next door to our Senior Resource Center is now our Senior Lounge, which is a location for seniors to come to our events that we have going on, and a place to socialize, and even to have coffee. So we have coffee and tea available for them to come in and just relax and hopefully connect with other seniors. Next. So while we were in COVID, Choice was still offering classes online and with videos, and our seniors would stop by and pick up their bags that had all the supplies for them to follow along on video. But as of yesterday, we are now in person, of course, COVID compliant, and we're doing our craft classes and our exercise classes of yoga, Tai Chi, and low impact. So we're really excited to be back and get our seniors back together. They were so excited yesterday. Next. So here's our schedule. So Tuesdays we have our yoga and our Tai Chi. If you know of any seniors, and we don't really card them when they walk in. So anybody that wants to join us, we of course let them come on in. We do ask for RSVP on the classes, but we do just have walk-ins for the exercise classes. We are starting a walking group that will meet on Thursdays at the Apple Valley Civic Plazas to get us moving outdoors as well. Next. Senior Lounge is what we're calling a place for community to come together to learn, socialize, and relax. So not only will we have crafts and exercises, but we'll have some educational programs going on as well. Next. So next week is Healthcare Week, and we were putting together an event which was really people know I was with the American Cancer Society for 5 years, so I still have a passion for creating fundraisers. So we were having live stream just come out and asking people to donate for the Relay for Life, and $10 goes for every donation. So, but it's grown into something bigger. So we have not only we have live stream out there, we'll have Victor Valley Animal Protection League out there with their animals. We have Kona Ice, which we are donating 20% to the Today's Women Foundation, and then the wonderful chamber that we're in are going to be out there at noon doing the ribbon cutting. So we want to invite everyone out there. We'll have some light snacks. There will be a taco guy out there if you wanted to take advantage of your lunch hour and pick up lunch. And then of course, Kona Ice with us donating to the Today's Women Foundation. Next. So part of what I wanted to present today was that I was looking for businesses and organizations that want to partner together so that we could let our seniors know what is available to them in our community. So if you're interested, please give me a call. We have a resource wall of information. We want to educate our seniors, so we can partner on that. Would love to partner with you guys. Next. We have a membership card for our seniors. So we know our seniors get their discounts at the restaurants, but if you're a business that wants to have to reach out to seniors and kind of a niche that you wanted to let them know about your business, let's talk about it. So we can offer the discounts to our members, and your discount can change anytime. So if you want to start out with 20% and then you're like, wait, no, I don't want to do that, let's do 10%, we could always change it. So give me a call about the membership card. Next. Like I said, the membership card, it could change anytime. We'll promote your business. So we have the website, our social media, and if you have a brick and mortar, we'll give you a little window clean with our logo on it so that our seniors know that there's a discount available for them. And then of course, we want them to show the card so they don't take advantage. Next. So we would love to see you guys out on May 12th. Come out if you want to donate blood. you want to get a new animal or just come out and support the ribbon cutting with the chamber, we'd love to see you. Thank you for having me.
All right, thank you, Liz. And again, thank you to Choice Medical Group for being our Valley Morning Insight presenting sponsor today. I know a lot of you, it looks like lots of you are already putting your names in the chat and shouting out who you are. So if you have not done that, please do that. I know we can scroll down the screens, but kind of gives us a little opportunity to say hi to each other. And also, if you have any questions for any of our speakers or presenters or anybody, please direct message Mark or myself. So just go ahead and hit that little where it says to everyone instead of to everyone. You'll pick either Mark or myself and send over a private message, and we will relay those messages. So now we would like to move into our new members, and we'd like to call on Ruby Clark, the Chamber's Director, Members Relation, and announce the Chamber's newest members. Good morning, Ruby.
Hi, good morning, Shannon. Good morning, everyone. Happy Cinco de Mayo. Happy Wednesday. Yes, I want to start out with welcoming Choice Medical Group, Dr. Kenneth Greer, College Funding Remedies, Contemporary Cargo Designs, Galaxy Energy Companies, and Hair and Nail Republic Beauty Salon. We just celebrated their ribbon cutting and look forward to Choice Medical Group's new ribbon cutting on Thursday of next week. Thank you, Shannon.
All right, thank you, Ruby. Okay, we're going to move into our sound off. So if you're not aware, a sound off is an opportunity for a chamber member to pay for the opportunity to speak for 1 minute, during this event. The cost is $20. So I will now introduce 2 chamber members who paid for a 1 minute sound off. And when I call your name and business, please unmute your microphone and you will have 1 minute to present. So first up, we have Marie Langley with Desert Valley Hospital Medical Group. Good morning, Marie.
Hi, good morning, Shannon. Good morning, everyone. So I'm going to briefly talk about vaccines, and I lost my notes. But so Desert Valley Hospital Medical Group has been vaccinating everyone since late December, early January. But last month we partnered with Victor Valley College, and currently we are offering the vaccines on site over there. So for the month of April, we were mostly doing the Moderna because the Johnson & Johnson was recalled. However, this week we did transition back to the Johnson & Johnson. So if anybody is interested in getting that, we will be there tomorrow from 8 to 4:30 offering the J&J. But most importantly, we wanted to tell everybody that we are offering mobile vaccinations. So if you are interested in vaccinating your employees, please reach out to myself, or I'm going to put in the chat when I can find my stuff. I'll put our contact information, but let us know and we will go on site and vaccinate your employees. So that's just a service that we wanted to offer everybody. We're grateful to serve the community, everything you guys do for us, and we want to be here to support you. So that's it. Oh, there you go, Jenny. But that's it for us.
All right, thank you, Marie. Okay, next we have Andrea Tober with Mary Kay Cosmetics. Good morning, Andrea.
Hi, good morning, everyone. First of all, happy Mother's Day coming up to all the mothers out there. I wanted to briefly share a little bit more information about the newest products that we have. If you've ever dealt with any retinol products for your face, we've got a brand new set that came out in February. It's 2 pieces. It's pure retinol 0.5, and then it's a Calm Restore facial milk to help to calm the skin. So if you've ever had issues before with extreme sensitivity to any kind of retinol products, the cool thing about our set is that it's designed to be used in addition to the skincare that you're already using. And it also gives you the opportunity to retinize your skin. So you go through a process of getting your skin used to the retinol and its effects. You can customize it to how it works for you. In your box, you actually get a tracking sheet that you can keep track of when you've used it, how often you've used it, how you've used it. So you really can customize it to your use, whether you end up after 8 to 10 weeks of going every night using it or just 3 times. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Andrea. All right, thank you both again. We really enjoyed the Sounds awesome. Okay, now we're going to move in and I'm going to reintroduce our President and CEO, Mark Craffeld, to provide a quick chamber update before our main presentation. Good morning again, Mark.
Great. Hey, thank you so much, Shannon. And your husband hasn't texted me yet, and I moved the phone away from where my viewing is because I know if he wants to text me, he probably would want to do it while I'm in the middle of presenting. So
absolutely.
Yeah. So anyways, well, thank you everybody for being here this morning. We have some upcoming events I want to go over. Our next coffee break update is this Friday, May 7th. Our newly appointed public defender will discuss his role and how it relates to the business community. We'll also have a tax professional on hand who will have some bullet points for you as we're all getting ready. I'm sure most of you have filed. For those of you like myself that are waiting, May 17th, are you ready? So looking forward to that presentation. So again, the registration email went out yesterday. Another one will go out tomorrow. But again, that's this Friday, May 7th at 9 a.m. We do have 2 ribbon cuttings coming up next week. First off is on Wednesday, May 12th for our sponsor today, Choice Medical Group. That will be at 12 o'clock. Our next ribbon cutting will be for Dana Construction. It's actually a ribbon cutting and anniversary for Dana Construction and Contemporary Cargo Designs. And that'll be on Thursday, May 13th from 12 to 1 o'clock. And then lastly, I wanted to mention that our golf tournament is coming up on Friday, June 25th at Spring Valley Lake Country Club. Player spots have already sold out. However, we still have a few sponsorships available, lunch sponsorships, tea sign sponsorships, and we're also hoping that your company will consider either donating a raffle prize or perhaps items for the golfer goodie bags. If anyone has any questions about the golf tournament or if you would like to be a sponsor or donate, please put your information in the chat and I will reach out to you personally. So thank you so much, Shannon.
All right. Thank you, Mark. And boy, aren't we looking forward to that golf tournament. I can hardly wait. That's going to be fun.
Also, let me quickly mention, Shannon, I know it's been asked to me several times, when we're actually going to be back in person. And, the chamber is currently coming up with a reopening plan. It is looking like that, our golf tournament on June 25th is our first in-person event. And we are looking at our first Valley Morning Insight will be on July 7th. We're hoping to be back at the Hilton, and we're still working out the details with them because there's still some requirements and some conditions we need to work out, obviously, so everybody is safe. But we are planning on that July 7th in-person Valley Morning Insight to be our annual State of the Chamber. So it will be a really big event, and we're hoping that we'll all be back in person in July. Thank you, Shannon.
All right, very nice. Looking forward to that also. Okay, so we're going to move into today's presentation. Again, if you have any questions, just private message me or Mark. And as time allows, we will ask these questions at the end of the presentation. So our speaker today is Dr. Dan Walden. I'm going to go ahead and read his bio to you. Dr. Dan Walden is currently serving as the superintendent and president of the Victor Valley College. His previous assignment as vice president of academic affairs at Los Angeles City College provided him with a diverse experience related to all campus operations. He has a PhD in education with a focus in higher education administration from Claremont Graduate University. And he has worked with academic programs over the past 17 years to improve processes for enrollment management and focus on underprepared and socioeconomically disadvantaged students. His years of direct administrative experience also include serving as the Dean of Academic Affairs that encompassed assignments in student services and institutional effectiveness. In addition, he has extensive accreditation experience serving for 10 years as an accreditation liaison officer and an external evaluator on 10 accreditation teams. He has also served as a technical assistant team member in the California Community College Institutional Effectiveness Partner Initiative, as well as a strategic enrollment management coach. So without any further ado, we will go ahead and welcome Dr. Walden, and go ahead and unmute and take it away, Dr. Walden.
Thank you, Shannon. Can everyone hear me?
Yes.
All right. Well, welcome everybody, and happy Cinco de Mayo. So we are into all you mothers coming up. Happy Mother's Day this coming Sunday. And here we are in the high desert. I'm very happy to be addressing you today. just talking to you about the new reality. You know, I took the leadership team here at the college through the last fall on talking about leading in the new normal, but now we've kind of morphed that into the new reality. I'm sure you all can remember where you were and what you were doing on the morning of September 11th, 2001, when you found out that we had been attacked from foreign sources, and we were just a nation and a world that was reeling. And whatever was going on in the world on September the 10th of that year, everything changed that day. And when you woke up September the 12th, it was never to be the same world. And it hasn't been the same. It's not the same getting on a plane. It's not been the same with our armed forces and just many other things. And last year, when the pandemic started, it started sweeping across the world and then really hit us full force here in March. I'll never forget that weekend because March 15th is my birthday. And I believe my birthday was on Saturday or Sunday. And that weekend, I was just reeling with trying to make decisions about the college because the governor was shutting down the state. We'd been declared an emergency. The cities were declaring emergency, state of emergency. Our own college board had just the previous Tuesday declared a state of emergency and given me executive powers to run the college and make decisions during this time. And I had, you know, on that Tuesday when the board passed that resolution, I thought, you know, okay, we'll manage this, we'll get through this. But I had no idea that we were going to shut down the college that quickly. And that decision had to be made over that following weekend. And on Monday, we were transitioning to move everything to remote. And we had 2 weeks to get it all done. And that was 14 months ago. It's hard to believe it, but 14 months ago. And we now know the world will never be the same. Our state will never be the same. The high desert will never be the same. And we realize here at Victor Valley College that we will never be what we were before. But that doesn't have to be negative. We are determined to build on that. And I've heard it said, never waste a good crisis. You know, you take what life gives you, and we've all heard this thing about life gives you lemons. Well, then what you do with the lemons is you make lemonade and sell it for so much a glass, and now you have money in your pocket instead of lemons. So rather than suck on just the sour lemons of life, we're looking at what is the world like now and how will the world be like going forward, this new reality. We know that we'll never be the same because we have found out that we have the ability to be more flexible and nimbler than we thought we ever could be. If you would have told me 14 and a half months ago that this college could be in the middle of a semester with, you know, basically 13,000 students on site having classes, and within 2 weeks, we would transition everything to remote learning, I wouldn't have been able to comprehend that. I had not been trained with my education and my experience. I had not been trained how to handle this kind of thing. None of us had. None of the CEOs of the California community colleges knew how to do this. We were on the phone with each other every day. We were having Zoom meetings. We were talking and trying to figure things out. And we found out that we could be a lot more flexible. Our faculty and our staff rose to the occasion. Our faculty went right to work, training the other faculty that had not taught online or done any kind of remote learning. And they went through a week-long training. We then followed that up with a whole summer of it last year. And our students made that transition. And they just moved right into, we distributed computers and laptops and had all kinds of communication. And so moved an entire college over to being a remote from face to face. It was an amazing experience. And I was just so proud of the staff. I didn't know, you never know until the crisis hits what you really have. But I found out that Victor Valley College was an exceptional place with exceptional faculty and exceptional employees of all the classified, the administrators, everyone to just rise to the occasion. We also felt the support of you all from the community as you were reeling and making adjustments in your life. We all know that we now have a greater sensitivity to disease transmission. The flu season that normally comes every year, we practically didn't have this last year. Not in the volume that it's been in, to the degree that it's been in previous years, because we were practicing good hygiene and wearing masks and washing our hands and sanitizing everything. And thankfully, Victor Valley College was very fortunate. We had, I believe, over the entire time of this pandemic, around 65 cases associated with the college, either a student or an employee. We did have one student that passed away, and then one employee, one adjunct faculty member that lost their life as a result of this. But we've all had friends and relatives affected and perhaps passed away from this terrible pandemic. So we now have a sensitivity to the disease transmission that, at least not in my lifetime, we'd ever had before. And of course, what are we doing right now? We're having a remote meeting for the high desert. Here's all the joint chamber now. We're instead of being in person, and I know we all want to get back to in person, and I'm glad to hear that maybe by July that we can do that again. But we found out, we can do some things remotely, and we can actually Zoom and figure out the technology. I know here at the college, you could imagine my own son, who never took an online class prior to this pandemic. He's 21 now, and he is enrolled in Victor Valley College, and he loves it. He doesn't want to go back to face-to-face. Of course, we have a lot of students that have, told us that when they have face-to-face, they'll come back. They did not like the remote, but the point is that there are more students now who have learned to use the online technology, and they love their classes online. And so we expect to come out of this, not as an online institution, but a lot greater number of our classes will be online, because our students want that flexibility that they get it from an online experience. And in fact, now that our faculty have been so trained, we took them through intensive training throughout the summer, where they all had to complete a 40-hour course on how to be effective in online teaching and using that modality. And so many of them who were shunned it prior to this event, to this pandemic, have now embraced it and are wanting to teach more online courses. I also think, just as a matter of efficiency, even when we're back face to face and we're meeting again face to face, you're still going to see more webinars or remote meetings, because people don't have to travel. Where you had to travel maybe 20 minutes to get to a meeting and allow for that time to get there and get situated into the meeting, have the meeting, and then 20 minutes back or wherever you're going, that time is saved when you just handle it remotely. So I think a lot of our meetings, some of them will be remote now, occasionally, and others perhaps regularly. So it's a new world in all kinds of ways. And we embrace that new reality and are moving forward here at Victor Valley College. So after being closed for 14 months, our crisis leadership team and our reintegration task force, that's what we're calling it instead of reopening, reintegration, because some people never really left. They came to work just like I did every day came to the college and still did our work. But the college has been closed to the public. But starting this next Monday on May the 10th, Victor Valley College will reopen to the public, and all of the non-teaching employees are coming back to work here at the college. Those orange barriers are coming down. We're going to get rid of the grass that's grown in the cracks in the streets and reopen the college to the public and to our students and to the high desert. We're going to be following safety methods like social distance, mask wearing, sanitation practices, and have certain limited indoor occupancy because we're still under the governor's tiers. I believe it's orange right now. And so we will be following those guidelines, particularly the governmental agency that enforces those things with us is OSHA, and that is run out of the governor's office. So we're kind of taking our clues and our direction from what we're hearing from the governor as far as where things will be going, because of the fact that his office runs OSHA, which has that jurisdiction, and they are the ones that tell us what we can and cannot do here. Even though we're opening next Monday on May 10th, our focus is going to remain on remote support services, but we will be available for face-to-face for those who need it. For example, students will still be offered and encouraged to do their counseling appointments with counselors online, remotely for now. But if a student says, no, I don't want that, they do have the ability to schedule an appointment and come to the campus. One of the things we have done during this time is we've created a walk-in counseling service. So at all times, anytime the college is open, we have walk-in counseling available for just those short questions and quick remedies that students sometimes need. You know, if you're going to the dentist, you got to make an appointment because that takes a little while. And so if a student is needing to set up an entire ed plan and what they're going to do over the next 2 years to graduate, well, then they'll have to make those appointments like they always have. But if they just need a quick question or need to get some direction, they can walk into our one-stop center, which is the building that has the 3 flags in front of it on Bear Valley. You know, we opened that building last year and did the ribbon cutting, and it was open 6 weeks when we had to shut it down. So now we're so happy this next Monday that we're going to reopen that building. We're very excited about that. I want to mention today that instruction is going to remain mostly remote throughout the summer, during which time we'll be promoting, but not mandating, vaccinations for all staff and students. Our college is embarking on a major campaign to get our students and all of our employees vaccinated, because plan A for us is to bring back all face-to-face classes and students beginning fall 2021. And when asked, well, what kind of guidelines are you going to follow? What are you going to be doing? We're going to follow the guidelines given to us by the government entities that we work with. As far as we know right now, Governor Newsom has announced that on June the 15th, he's lifting the colored tier restrictions. So what that seems to mean is that that time there's no restrictions on social distancing. Perhaps we'll still be encouraged, and I'm sure we'll be encouraged to still wear masks, get vaccinated, practice sanitation practices. We won't know the full effect of that until the OSHA rules come down. Currently, they haven't been updated since last October. So we're still operating in the very old news, but we're doing our best to follow that, get those guidelines. That's plan A, to be back face-to-face with all of our students in classes, and we will still offer online as we have before, and perhaps even a few more in this next fall. Now you say, well, what happens if the mutant strands cause a resurgence of the pandemic, or the rules are reinforced or put back into place? Well, we'll go to plan B. We'll scale back. Perhaps, half of our classes will be online, or they'll only be half full and the other half will be remote. And we'll work with that and have synchronous kind of meetings where half the classes joining in remotely and the other half is in person, and then they switch off every other class where they come in for one class and and the next day they're remote, and so on and so forth. Or plan C, whatever that is, we'll scale back. It's easier when operating a college and running your classes to scale back than it is to, surge forward. So the plan is to be here in person in the fall, and if necessary, we will scale back. Now, you've heard about the CARES Act. For higher education, it's called the Higher Education Emergency Relief Fund, or HERF. And HERF 1 was what we got last spring, and Victor Valley College got about $8.5 million from the federal government for relief during the COVID time in that first act. Just prior to the end of the year, we got another $17 million, and now with the passage of HERF 3, we have been promised another about $31 million. That's a total of about $56 million that the college has been allocated. We have not received HERF 3 funds yet, but looking at all of that, we do know that the directive is that $23 million of that money is to go in direct aid to students. So far, we have given out about 8 million of that. And as I said, we haven't received HERF 3 yet. The remaining dollars are institutional funds to be used for COVID-related expenses due to loss of revenue and other added expenses that have happened during this time. And of that, we've spent about $4.5 million so far. We have, at least with HERF 3, I know we have 2 years to spend that money. I believe with HERF 2, we have about 2 years to spend that money. So most of HERF 1 is already been spent. We haven't spent it all. We have a plan to spend the rest of it. But what we're trying to do right now is to really clarify with the government exactly what we can and cannot spend the money for. So we know we can replace lost revenue. We can do things to help our students out in direct aid. And one of the things that we're doing, every high school student that's graduating in the high desert in spring 2021, this current term, are receiving a full year of funds to cover enrollment fees, books, and all other student fees except for the material fees if they're in one of those kinds of classes. So basically, I want to be careful how I say this. One way we could say this is they have a full year to come to college free, but that's not really true because they have to eat, they have to have a place to stay, they need some kind of form of transportation. And so although we are going to cover their student fees, which does provide for transportation on the transit system, but it doesn't cover everything it would cost them to live during that year. But for this next year, every graduating student from our high desert high schools are able to come to Victor Valley College without paying for their books, their enrollment fees, and other student fees. And that's one of the things we're using this money for. I bring this up because we've gotten a lot of questions, and our trustees have gotten questions, and many of our employees have gotten questions as to what's the college doing with the money. Well, first of all, we're only going to do legal things with it. And secondly, it's going to be audited. So we have to make sure that all expenditures meet the guidelines. Excuse me. So I'm not going to go into as much of the vaccination and testing as I was going to, because Marie gave a great report from Desert Valley Hospital. They've been gracious to work with us, and we've partnered with them. They're right now using the gymnasium on Fish Hatchery Drive for the vaccination site. And 2 to 3 days a week, they've been open down there. It's walk-in. She explained all that, so I don't want to be redundant. but I do believe next week they'll be giving out the Moderna again. You correct me if I'm wrong on that, Marie. But I don't know the exact number of vaccines. Perhaps she knows that. I know Desert Valley Hospital has those numbers.
Hi, Dan. Just to add, yes, we've done over 1,600 in the past 5-6 weeks at the college. And
Okay.
You're correct. Next week we are transitioning back to the Moderna. We'll be doing second doses. But if somebody does walk in, the clinic is Tuesday through Thursday, and we will be giving them the first dose.
Thank you very much. And you know, we are a partner. We're in the community. We belong to the community. We're as part of it as you are. And you have our students, you have our employees, we are you, and you are us. We are one entity together, and it's just wonderful that we can have this kind of partnership with a place like Desert Valley Hospital. And we've also partnered with the county all through this time to be a testing site. We still are. The county runs the testing site. If you're coming down Fish Hatchery, just past the gymnasium on your right, the testing is still there, Monday through Saturday, 9 to 6. You can walk in. Anyone can walk in, not just people associated with the college. Anyone. It's all open to the public. So that's kind of what our story about COVID and the new reality. Some of the things that we're doing going forward. Also, our graduation event is going to be held this year at the Glen Helen Pavilion on June the 12th at 6 p.m., but with restrictions. The Live Nation that runs and operates that facility has informed us at this point. We still have to follow very strict guidelines, so we're limited to 3,500 people at that graduation, which means we'll have only about 4 tickets available for each graduate. We are also inviting graduates from last year that didn't get a chance to walk and want to walk, even though we provided a around the lake drive through graduation as well as a virtual. Some have said they still would like to walk, and so we're making that available to them. Finally, I want to say Victor Valley College remains committed to its vision of social justice and to be a model of an innovative community college through exceptional student experiences that drive success, promote civic engagement, and meet community needs. That's what we're here for, and that's what we plan to continue doing. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you, Dr. Walden. Hey, I've got one question. Do you want to just give a really quick update on what the college is working on with the Aspen Congress? People are starting to the Aspen Award, and kind of let them know a little bit about that.
Sure. So the Aspen Prize is our rally. That's something that is given to one community college every 2 years in the nation. So that's about 1,100 community colleges. I believe about 900 something actually qualify to be in that, to compete for that prize. So we are one of them, and we have made it our vision to go after the prize as a rallying cry, really to improve student outcomes. That's what we're really after. We're not just after a prize to say we won a prize, but we believe you should be recognized for the great work that you do. And so we created a thing called the Aspen Congress, and it's a group of about 50, 60 people that meet once a month for 1 hour as a brain trust. And we just had our meeting for the month of May yesterday. We had our smallest crowd, about 37 people, I think, but we just simply meet and talk about and think about what we can do to move the college forward. And I'm telling you that we are in a metamorphosis right now to become the best community college in the United States. 3 years from now, you're not going to recognize Victor Valley College. You're going to be looking at us saying, wow, that has become someplace. We are re-envisioning ourselves in the community. We are re-envisioning ourselves in how we see ourselves on campus. So if you're going to be the best, you should talk the best, act like you're the best, and not wait until somebody says, oh, you are the best. Oh, okay, we are. you know what? If you want to be successful, dress successful, act successful, think successful. And that's what we're doing here at the college. And so we're going to be doing a lot of things. As you know, culture takes a while to change. And as we work with the culture of the college, and one person can't do it, it takes all of us, it takes a village, but we are going to become the best community college and recognized for it in the United States.
All right, we do have another question here. Do you have any pathway programs for students, graduate from high school, High Desert High School, and VVC guaranteed enrollment at a CSU/UC?
Yeah, so we have our associate degrees of transfer, and they are guaranteed admission to CSU. So I think we have about 16 to 18 of those degrees in all different fields. I'm not going to start rattling them off, but there's many of them, and they are, if a student gets an associate degree for transfers, either whether it's an AA degree or an AS degree, they are guaranteed admission into a California State University. And San Bernardino, I have had personal one-to-one meetings with the president of that college, Tomas Morales, and he tells me that they accept every single student from Victor Valley College that has an ADT. And so whether it's there or somebody wants to go to one of the other CSUs, they can. Even the UCs will accept almost all of our credits in transfer. And they love, in fact, every year we have a good group of students that transfer to one of the UCs. And the private colleges will accept our units. Even though they're not all called transfer degrees, pretty much they all transfer. For example, when I graduated from my community college, my degree had 60 units in it, and all 60 units transferred. And that was back before we had the ADTs.
Okay. All right. Well, looks like there's a lot of proud VVC graduates coming up on the chat there. So you can see, how the college has affected our High Desert. I want to give a shout out to Dr. Walden and his leadership during all of this. I have had the pleasure to serve as the president of the College Foundation. I like to tell the board, and I see a lot of my board members on here, plus there's some staff members on here and some college staff and faculty too. But I always tell my board that I've got to be the COVID president this last year. And with that, Dr. Walden, he has taught all of us, and I know sometimes this word gets overused as a servant leader, but when day one, it was all hands on deck at the college. And you will always see Dr. Walden out there leading the team. His I think they were called campus chats, kept everybody on board. He invited the foundation members to be on board. And we have just had, as hard as it has been a experience. I'm sure that we've all learned some things. We obviously have some Zoom skills that none of us had before, but I do appreciate, and I've learned a lot from watching Dr. Walden as he's led his team through this. One of the things that we all have to remember is we'll like he mentioned in the beginning, but we'll always be different from this event. There's many people, and I've always tell people that during COVID, you've had to accept it at whatever your experiences are during this. There's many people who have had no experience that nobody affected in their families. But Dr. Walden was always very open, and his experiences with losing some friends. I lost my father to COVID during this time. And so everybody has had to, be respectful. I think that's the best word of how everybody has, gone through this time. So I, for one, if Dr. Walden ever calls you and asks you to be on a team or a panel or a project he is working on, I would recommend it highly. You will come out of that knowing more and understanding the college. And when we look at it, the bottom line is students and helping them, to their next level in their journey as they complete their education. So thank you, Dr. Walden. Always a pleasure. And thank you for being here today.
Thank you. My pleasure.
Right. All right.
Well, again, thank you, Dr. Walden. I've called upon your office several times during the pandemic, and you've always been able to be there to offer an update or send a staff member to do an update. And I sincerely appreciate the partnership that the Greater High Desert Chamber has with Victor Valley College. And, thank you so much for being on the call today and doing this presentation. And just a comment to what you had said in regards to how, Zoom is still going to be kind of a part of what we do moving forward. And, one of the only maybe silver lining of COVID-19 doing Zoom meetings is we have noticed that many of our participants on our Zoom calls are members that have never been to any of our in-person events. And we are working towards a way to continue doing at least a monthly Zoom meeting, because what we wouldn't want to do, as much as we all can't wait to be back in person, the last thing that we want to do is then start excluding those folks that were able to attend meetings Zoom. We have a legislative action committee that meets once a month, and when we've been in person, we've never had more than 20 or 25 folks in person to listen to those legislative updates. And we're going on our third month doing them online, and we're getting over 60 people. So we don't think that we'll ever go back to in-person legislative action committees, because we would hate to go from 60 participants back down to, half that. So, keep up the wonderful job that you're doing out there at Victor Valley College. Again, I am a huge fan of everything that you're doing. And I, again, cannot thank you enough for being on today's call to offer this presentation, The New Reality. So again, thank you very much, Dr. Walden.
Thank you, Mark. And you gave a great example of the new reality in continuing those legislative meetings through Zoom.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, again, thank you again. I want to wrap this up by thanking our MC Shannon for taking this gig on 2 days notice, and again, presenting sponsor Choice Medical Group. Again, thank you so much, Liz, for your participation. And of course, thank you again to our guest speaker, Dr. Walden. We will see everybody hopefully this Friday at our coffee break update or our ribbon cuttings next week. And I believe I've allow people to unmute themselves. So this is our goodbye. We'll see you all at the next event, and we're closer and closer to in-person. So goodbye, everybody. Have a wonderful Cinco de Mayo. Be safe out there.
Have a great week.
Bye.
Bye.
Everyone. Good to
Bye.
see you. Bye, everyone.
Beautiful baby.
Bye, everyone.
Happy Mother's Day.
Happy Cinco de Mayo.
Take care, everybody.
Cinco de
Thank you so
Mayo.
much.
Bye.
We'll see you all soon.
Bye.